There are bad plays, and then there's this. A play so ridiculous, so perfectly disastrous, it became bigger than the game itself. The kind of mistake that doesn't just live in highlights, it lives in history. Thanksgiving night, 2012, a single moment that turned one franchise into more of a national punchline and left an entire fan base asking the same question: how did it get this bad? To break it all down, I'm joined by a longtime Jets fan, better known as the Jetsgurl. She lived this moment in real time. The shock, the frustration, the laughter that hit way too close to home. This is the story of the night that the Jets became a meme and the fans who never stopped wearing green anyways. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow on each and every one of the socials at KPearceTV, but most importantly, please enjoy this week's episode of Sports.
I was born into this. My parents are New Yorkers. My dad was a Jets fan, and growing up in his household, you liked the Jets or you got out of his house. My very first memory is 1989, me and my dad watching the Jets and Dolphins in Orangeburg, South Carolina. We were eating pepperoni on a Sunday. Growing up, I watched it with my dad, but I wasn't into it as much as I am now. Now it's kind of like my persona. It wasn't just I'm watching with my family. It's this is who I am. This is who I like. This is my team. My kids are actually Jets fans as well. I have an 18-year-old and I have a 14-year-old, and they are both Jets fans. But I do feel bad for bringing my kids into this. And I have told my kids multiple times they do not have to be Jets fans, but they won't change. So here we are.
In 2009, that longtime Jets fandom was in for a shakeup when one coach came in and turned the once impoverished franchise into a bona fide AFC contender. Enter Rex Ryan.
I come from New Yorkers. We're loud. We make a lot of noise. You're gonna know we're there. Everything that I identified with from seeing my family and growing up with my family as, oh, that's just a New York thing. You the biggest, baddest, toughest thing out there. That's what he reminded me of. So it made me feel at home. That was the first time that I actually got excited about a head coach. He made me excited to be a fan again. It didn't set in until we got to our first AFC Championship, because I still was kind of just holding my breath, like, is this real? Is this real? And then we got to the AFC Championship, and I was like, oh shit, wait, we might actually be good. Wait, we might actually be that team.
Fortunately, the Ryan era started with 2 trips to the AFC Championship. Unfortunately, those trips are where those journeys ended. But his tenure continued from there and didn't reach those same heights again.
After the second AFC Championship, after we lost, biggest concern was get Mark Sanchez help. Help as in a coach, a quarterback whisperer. Y'all have coaches in the league that are known for coming in and fixing quarterbacks. After we lost, that's what I wanted to happen. I didn't want Rex Ryan gone. I didn't want a change in quarterback. I wanted to get him some help. I didn't care who it was, just somebody, because we were so defensive minded. Yes, we had other holes. Yes, we had other things we needed to fix, but that was the one big thing that if we could just push him and get him over that plateau of, hey, I can make it to the AFC Championship, but I can't win it. That would have been better than anything.
Well, the Jets did make a move going into that 2012 season. And let's just say our guest wasn't a huge fan of it.
2012 was when Tebow got signed. They should have never brought Tebow in. When they brought in Tebow, it shook his confidence.
Fast forwarding from the start of the 2012 season with a controversial signing and moving on to a struggling Jets team on Thanksgiving Day.
We had already lost to the Patriots. It's Thanksgiving. We are in MetLife. I had so much faith. We had just beat the Rams. It was a turning point, and then kickoff happened. That was the first Thanksgiving game I watched with my dad in a couple years. It was big for us. This is the jersey that I actually bought that season for Mark Sanchez. And I was wearing this jersey that Thanksgiving.
What a beautiful scene. A loving family reunited and gathered to watch their favorite football team for the holidays surrounded by food. But, then what happened?
Even an announcer didn't realize what happened until it happened. No one realized that he fumbled the ball, and everybody just kind of sat there for a second. We were like, wait, what just happened? Hold on. And then they replayed it because everybody was shocked. We weren't thinking, oh, he ran into somebody. We were thinking the ball just came out again. And then you watch the replay, and I just sat there speechless for a few minutes because how? Like,
let's let our guest breathe for a second and a half. A real woosah moment is needed here before we get to her full reaction to this devastating play.
I was still shocked. I wasn't pissed at that point. It was closer to half that I started to get pissed. So I want to say by half, they had lost the ball 4 times by then. That's when I started getting mad and started cursing. I'm laughing on the outside, but I'm crying on the inside. Still in disbelief as to how it happened. Because when I went back and watched it, I was like, okay, I'm anticipating it. And then it happens. I'm like, wait, okay, it did happen how I remembered. None of us saw it coming. It wasn't like some big play. It was, okay, wait, they're up, then they're down. Wait, what happened? I love Mark Sanchez. That was my baby. I loved him. I will never be mad at him. I will continuously be mad at the coaches for not properly developing him, especially in the New York market. So I'm not mad at the game. It's an era that I would like to forget. So to me, the butt fumble is not as big as a lot of people make it. Yes, I know it's like one of the worst plays and it always makes the top 10 and it will forever go down in history as one of the worst things that ever happened. But for me, as someone who's an avid Jets fan, like I watch all the games, I keep up with all the players, like I'm very, very into our team. So as somebody like that, the butt fumble isn't that big of an issue to me. Them signing Tim Tebow, that was my issue. I am a Carolina fan, and in the fact that he played at Florida, I already didn't like him because of the Carolina.
But this was far from the last mistake the Jets made with QB development. I wonder what her view is on what's gone wrong year after year after.
Where do you want me to start?
But whatever's on your spirit, go for it.
So we don't develop quarterbacks. There are a couple teams in the league that are very, very, very bad at developing quarterbacks. We are one of them. Chicago Bears is the other. And until they bring in someone to do that, we are going to continuously have quarterback issues. So we're either drafting rookies, which is fine. Please, let's go out and let's draft the best quarterback. Cool, or a great quarterback. But you have to have somebody to develop him. We don't have anybody to develop him. And then you have a defensive-minded coach. And I believe Gase was the only one that was offensive-minded that I can think of off the top of my head. And even Gase couldn't do it. So with that being said, you still have to have someone that comes in that works one-on-one with your quarterback to develop them. So yes, do I still want us to draft a quarterback high? Yes. But should we be playing them their very first game of the season after they were drafted? No. We should be sitting them for at minimum 6 weeks. At minimum 6 weeks, they should be sitting behind a veteran quarterback, learning. And then if the veteran quarterback is not doing what they're supposed to do, then let them come in and take over. Otherwise, let them sit the whole year. I don't mind drafting a quarterback and letting them sit for a whole year and learning, and then the next season taking over. That's what I would love for them to do. Will they ever do it? I doubt it. But do they need to do that? Yes.
Thank you to our guests for coming on the show. Thank you for watching this far into the video. Leave a comment so I could thank you personally. But I couldn't let our guest leave without asking one last question. If Mark Sanchez was in front of us, what would she say to him? Post-credit scene. Go.
Mark Sanchez, if you ever see this, I do not hold it against you. I do not hold that season against you. There was a lot going on. You are still one of my favorite quarterbacks. I still loved your time with us. I do not hold that game against you. That to me is not one of my worst memories of your tenure with the Jets. Yes, it was one of the worst plays in Jets history, but are people making it out to be more than what it is? Yes. Let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. I mean, it's been how long? Let it go. Find something else.
Unfortunately, when Thanksgiving comes around this year, I can almost guarantee that they are going to show that play again.
That is also why I think we have not had a Thanksgiving game since. I don't think we've had a Thanksgiving game since. Not that I can remember. I don't think we'll get another Thanksgiving game. I think because of that game, the only way we'll get another Thanksgiving game is if we ever make it to another Super Bowl. I think that's the one thing that will put us back in the NFL scheduling God's favor to ever get another Thanksgiving game. We would have to make it to the Super Bowl and probably win to ever get a Thanksgiving game. I think Butt Fumble ruined it for Thanksgiving for us.